and welcome to Adventure on so many levels. We're gonna play some Dungeons and Dragons. Woo!
Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons!
I'm Christiana Ellis, and I am the Dungeon Master, and tonight our players, Starla Hutchton as Nirakina Ethu,
Greetings and salutations.
Jenny Meltzer as Cadence of the Water,
Hello.
James Meltzer as Ket of the Sands,
This is the way.
Mark Kilfoyle as Alaric Copperbeard.
I just hope they keep playing more songs I know.
We are hoping that Chooch Schubert will be able to join us this time as Otterkey, but sadly we are short once again our Vivid Muse as Amethyst. Besides, she stayed back at the Magnificent Mansion instead of enjoying this lovely gala that Queen Solomonia of the Dawn Court is throwing in your honor. So, let's talk about what happened last time. You guys want to pipe in with the highlights?
We got to dress up pretty.
There was pancakes
Dancing,
and awkward breakfasts.
And honey.
KGBs.
Yeah.
You know, I do kind of regret not actually switching to the Russian voice. I kind of joked that I was going to and then didn't. But as soon as I switched back to the original voice, I was like, no, it would have been better, but it's too late now. Oh, well.
Trust your instincts, Christiana. Trust your instincts.
Well, see, unfortunately, my instinct was to go back to the original voice, and then I second-guessed my instinct is the problem.
If every instinct you have is wrong, then the opposite must be right.
I think that's one of Ket's tattoos.
That's right.
Under all that fur.
That's right. Yeah.
So, yes, everybody but Amethyst and Ket went to get fitted for fancy clothes from what you were told is a highly prestigious fashion designer here in the Feywild. And the fitter turned out to be a deer with a pixie assistant.
Wow! Or something like that.
Pretty close. You each received an incredible fancy outfit, and then you hustled on back to the mansion to get ready for the gala, and then discovered that as soon as you emerged once again from the Magnificent Mansion, you were already at the gala.
What?
Yeah. So Amethyst did decide to go back and hide inside the mansion once it was recast. But then there at the gala, you met a variety of folks. Some of which were crucially important to the plot, and others probably not so much. Which
Don't
ones are
tell-
which? You
Don't
guys
tell
get to
them that.
guess. Yeah.
That's kind of mean, really. I won't
Well,
talk
you
to
don't
you
know-
later. You're nothing to me.
You don't know which ones I mean.
You have no plot question over your head.
Yeah, see, the key is to look to see who has the gold exclamation point hovering over them.
That's right. It's like
I guess
Sims.
that's really the same joke you were making, isn't it, Mark? Sorry about that.
Thanks for explaining. It really helps.
I have a bad habit of doing that sometimes, is that someone makes a joke and then I iterate it on it like 5% and then say it like it's a new joke.
You know, I've noticed, Christiana, that occasionally you have a problem where you repeat something that someone has already said, adding just a little bit that makes it a lot more clear.
Well, sometimes I find myself just repeating people and acting like I've said something new.
Thankfully, I've never found myself ever doing exactly that, where I repeat something that someone has already said and adding almost nothing.
Generic cast silence.
Well, I was just thinking what I need is a little technical difficulties intermission title card to come up and just 2 hours later. But so in any event, various people and other beings that you have previously encountered are at this gala, including the Lord of the Hunt, who seems to not be holding a grudge of any kind. Cadence briefly met with Queen Solomonia herself, who assured Cadence that although she is certainly eager to have all of you retrieve this artifact, the Codex Panoptica, she's eager for you to go ahead and retrieve it. She is certainly not pressing that it happen immediately because she wants you to be adequately prepared first. So you have time here in the Feywild to do what you feel is necessary to prepare yourselves for that. However, were you to try to go off and do some unrelated adventure, that might be pushing it. She also offered Cadence indirectly a place in her court. So that happened. Also present at the gala is, at the very least, an associate of Queen Hieronymus of the Twilight Court, who has made a suggestion to Ket that they would see her soon as well. You also met, let's see, I think that might have been it for the people that you knew already.
Mhm.
But probably of most significance beyond that was, of course, the beetle emissary, but you guys didn't hear what they said, so you don't really know what's the deal there. But next to that is the Queen of the Abiels, which are like bee people. And given part of the clue Alaric had received relating to honey, namely tea with honey from the three queens, Nira decided to investigate the bee people and say, hey, what's up? And it turns out that this little ditty from this strange woman that tried to steal Alaric's boots might have been a more serious encounter than you realized. But also, you got a clue that these bee people, when three queens go rogue and don't rule hives, they become what's known as a Thriae and make special honey that is reputed to show you the truth in all things. And also might be good for lost songs, as the prophecy said. But in the meantime, you're all still kind of hanging out.
Doing
at
a lot
this
of
gala.
drinking.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I was re-listening to the episode, Nira, and not only did you get one drink, but you specifically said, keep them coming.
Yes, I did.
So let's briefly start with a question of how many have you had?
How long has it been? Well, I didn't have one, obviously, while I was having the dances and the conversation with the bee person, bee queen. It's kind of hard.
Didn't you? You could have been holding a
No.
glass all that time. I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
I suppose. Well, I'm just trying to think of how much time has passed,
Well,
even though like
This
time
place is
weird
like
here.
Vegas. As soon as
Okay,
your
we'll
drink
say
is half
4.
empty, they're handing you another one.
We'll say 4.
All right. So I think let's go ahead and get one Constitution saving throw from you.
Okay. And that is a 15.
Okay. You're doing all right. You're feeling it. Like you can tell you've had 4 drinks, but you're holding it together.
All right.
You think?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to tell. It is not always the person who is imbibed that is the first to know.
Hmm.
But regardless, at the moment you feel like you're doing all right. So, it is not long after we left our heroes with Nira and Alaric on the dance floor. Ket watching from, a little ways away. Cadence, last seen speaking with Queen Solomonia before she disappeared. But now there is a big announcement. There is a chorus of lovely voices that sing sort of a trill, and everybody turns to look, and a very dapper Eladrin gentleman who is like Eladrin in case it's unclear because I've used the term a couple of times without necessarily providing context. Eladrin are kind of like elves plus. They're, if you imagine the journey you would have to take to go from a human to an elf, just like keep on going a little further, and that's Eladrin. But this Eladrin gentleman announces, "Assembled guests of Queen Solomonia, it is my pleasure to announce that the feast has begun. You may take your seats." And does a very deep bow.
We have seats? Crap.
We have a feast? I suppose they did say something about food. I guess I got distracted. What kind of food do they... Wait, wasn't there something about food?
Everyone is kind of, they're not like running or anything, but they're clearly moving in a certain direction.
And if I recall correctly, Alaric had walked away, so I'm going to be looking for Cadence. Keep an eye out for her.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, I'm flying around on my spectral epiphany.
yeah.
She was actually quite a ways away too, actually,
Hmm.
because she flew off to the conversation pit district.
All right, then I will corral Archie if I cannot find Cadence.
So I think that you managed to collect him, and Ket is not too far.
I'm
Are
just kind of like catching everybody's eye and like motioning towards the table where the chairs are to have a seat.
Mm-hmm. So you're just kind of following the crowd.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. So you definitely, those of you following the crowd, which I'm going to assume is everybody, will eventually realize that there is now within this impossibly large ballroom, there is one of those really long, narrow banquet tables with fancy chairs and place settings and everything. And frankly, it couldn't have been there a minute ago, but there it is. And people are taking their seats. But when I say long, I mean this is blocks long. And you find that as people are taking their seats, not all of the seats are full, but they seem to all know where they're going. Like people are walking to specific seats without really looking unsure or uncertain at any point.
Do I see name tags or anything on the seats? Or
Make a perception check.
Where is our little Eladrin friend Denobrium?
Well, you want to look around for him?
Yes. He
Make
will
a perception check.
27.
So you look at the place settings as you're kind of walking by and seeing where people are sitting, and there appears to be, very fancy plate, like flatware and silverware that look like it's probably, like they're made out of things like sapphire and gold, and like they're just, ridiculous materials to make dishes from, but that's what it is. And there's, silk napkins, which doesn't even make sense, but there it is. And I'm just laughing myself at the concept of a silk napkin. Anyway, you see at each place setting, there's just like a flower as garnish sitting in the center of each plate. And at first glance, you would have just assumed that it's just a flower garnish, and you would naturally expect that not every flower is identical. But you start realizing that every single flower is, seems to be unique in a specific way, and you're going to have to make some sort of an additional check if you want to try to decipher any meaning behind the various differences.
I have an 18 on mine.
All right. We'll come back to that in a moment.
I hope this isn't a vegetarian meal.
You can make investigation or just intelligence.
Let's see. What am I good at? Neither. All right, investigation it is. 22.
22. All right. You know that you don't have the full context to necessarily understand the meaning and cultural significance of certain flowers compared to certain types of fae. But you do see that as you're proceeding from this direction, like proceeding along the table, the flowers are getting more elaborate in the sense of having bits of greenery and leaves trilling off into different little curlicues around the plate. And so the flower itself is unique in some way, but also there's little leaf patterns, and it's clearly getting fancier and fancier the more you progress along this direction.
So the question I have to ask myself, if I were a flower, what kind of flower would I be? Well, they don't look like they're made out of stone. I look for a less fancy flower. Try to figure that out.
All right. So, Nira, you don't see Denobrium with your 18.
Well, the gala is for us, and we're the special guests, so I guess I'm just gonna head towards, like, as the flowers get fancier, gonna figure maybe we go that direction.
Well, I don't think you had noticed that you would have to make your own check. He got a 27 and a 22.
Okay, well, I'm just kind of hoping that somebody flags me down and points me to the right place, so.
All right. So, you do, well, make an insight check.
Pretty good at those. That is a 28.
Yeah, so you definitely pick up on the various other people in the area are paying attention to you, and there's a little bit of like you read on their faces when you're in this area that, like, you know, like, well, you're important. You wouldn't be here, you'd be down there. You know, so they're not saying it. You can just see this expectation of, like, you know, oh, you're the guest of honor. You know, you're not going to sit here.
All right. Well, I'm going to continue to go along watching faces until I find what might be the right spot.
All right. What are you up to, Kat?
I mean, I'm oblivious to the flowers. I'm just kind of, I don't know. I'm just kind of looking for a seat. I don't know. I'm just kind of looking to see where my friends are. And
you just like find are you looking for your friends specifically, or are you just finding
I'm looking for Cadence.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, Cadence is not near you anywhere. So, on that,
I'm like John Travolta right now. I'm just kind of like,
yeah. Okay. I think that with your look of confusion like that, you turn and look one direction and then back, and then when you look that way again, Denobrium is just right there, and he's back in winter emo mode, and he just says, "You're at the head of the table with the other guests of honor."
Okay, man. You
Want me to like walk you over there?
Yeah, man. Walk me. I'm a guest of honor.
Right. And then he said, "Walk this way, I guess." And he proceeds to shuffle in that direction with a total, you know, the emo slouch walk.
Okay. I emo slouch walk that way.
Naturally.
Yeah. It's the right thing to do.
So, Cadence, after the Queen Solomonia had finished talking to you, you sought out Spectral Epiphany again?
Yep.
All right. So we can say you were flying around with her a little bit more. What were you chatting about anything, or just enjoying the flying?
I was just enjoying the flying and kind of looking around, taking the lay of the the whole feast and stuff
Mhm.
from above.
Yeah, you do see that as you're watching from above, you're seeing this banquet table arrives like it was a mirage that has become real. It sort of ripples into existence, but it's also just ludicrously long. It's the same like width that you would expect from a big fancy table, but just you know just reaches on as far as you can see. But everyone is gathering, and it does seem clear now that the more fancy dressed people tend to be at the end that is closest to you. And um, Spectral Epiphany does at some point, when a lot of people have taken their seats, just say, "So, I imagine that your seat will be somewhat closer to the Queen than mine. Shall I take you there?"
Yes, that would be great. Thank you very much. This has been so amazing.
I'm so glad to hear it. Let's go! And just soars down, and so comes to a very flashy, uh, sort of sliding stop, like if you were in a car, that whole thing where you skid and do turn around and end up perfectly parallel parked. That's essentially what she does with landing, and you find yourself right at the end of the table, and there is a chair that is vacant, like just right on the corner where you would literally be at the left side of the head of the table.
Okay. I don't stand on ceremony. I just sit down.
All right. You do see that there are a few others starting to take their seats nearby, but there are room, not at the head of the table, but there is room, chairs for all of you at that end of the table before anyone else has occupied any. So, Ket, you are following Denobrium in that direction. It sounds like all of you are gradually heading that way. And eventually you do reach the head of the table, and you see that there are lots of faces at the occupied chairs looking at you as though, yep, this is where you are. This is where you belong.
Is there an open spot next to Cadence?
Yeah.
Are there two? Because
Well, you have Otterkey with you.
True. Okay, so one of those unoccupied chairs that's sitting next to a guest, one that is occupied. I'm gonna sit in that one and put Archie next to me.
Okay.
Meat
All right.
shield.
Okay, so here's where the empty chairs are. There's the head of the table, and on the left side there's 2 open chairs. On the right side there's 3. And so Cadence is sat on the first one on the left, and then you can have taken not the one closest to the right, but the next 2 over, with Archie in the middle. Does that make sense? I thought about making a little map for this, but it's not really that important.
Yep, that sounds like.
So that would leave the available chairs then being next to Cadence and then next to the head of the table on the other side.
I'm probably the last to choose because I wandered off in the wrong direction for a while.
Well, yeah,
Then-
so if you, I think if you had looked for a simple flower, would you have just taken a seat somewhere?
Probably there was a lot of goes to take a seat, someone else goes, I'm sorry, that's my seat. And he's like, all right, here's moving on. Eventually kind of noticing that the seats are probably filling up faster than you can get to them.
Yeah.
So turn around.
By
turn
and
direction.
large, yeah. That's. I think there's a moment where you do sit for a while and you don't hear anyone say anything, but you kind of become aware that there's someone looking very anxious, kind of standing behind you, like they're afraid to say anything to you. But
Just point at the plate. Is that you? Sorry, I don't know how to read flowers.
well, It's yes. I
Just breathe.
kind of
You'll be
pointing.
fine. Just deep breaths. You'll be fine.
So eventually, though, we have Ket arriving. So, which would you sit next to Cadence on the left of the head of the table, or would you
Yeah,
take the
absolutely.
position on the right? Okay.
No, I'd sit next to Cadence on the left.
All right. So, Alaric, when you arrive, you realize that there is one empty seat right at the right hand of the head of the table.
All right. I guess that's mine then. Look around and see where the rest of them are. Nod at near Kina, who's way the hell over there. Sure. All right.
I mean, she's 2 chairs away. It's not really. It's
I mean,
I-
Audrey's right there, and he kind
Yeah.
of takes up a lot of space in your peripheral
Fa-
vision.
That's fair. That's fair. So, at any rate, you realize that the other guests there in that vicinity. So, Ket, you recognize the Ice Prince that you spoke to briefly the last time. There are a couple of other very elegant-looking Fae individuals. And I think that without making an insight check, all of you can gather that the expressions of those people are simultaneously how interesting to have the Queen's guests dine with us. Also, I usually sit there. So, at your seating position, do you do anything, or are you just sitting politely, hands in your lap, or what? There's no food yet.
So, I've got an empty fancy chair beside me, and is it Otterkey that I'm sitting beside then?
Yeah. So you're basically at the corner. So the head of the table is, you would guess, is probably for the Queen. But on your other side is Archie, and then on the other side of him is Nira, and then on the other opposite you is Cadence with Ket next to her.
So, Otterkey, I don't really know the rules of how you're supposed to. No, I get it. You don't either really do these fancy things. But I was just thinking, maybe, am I supposed to take the napkin and put it into my... Nah, it doesn't make any sense. Thanks for the chat. I needed that.
He gives you a thumbs up. I think if you look around, you see that everyone else seems to be just politely waiting.
Is there anything on the table in front of us?
I mean, there's the place settings, but no food.
There's no bread or
No.
drink or anything?
Mm-mm. I mean, unless you brought a drink, you could have been carrying one.
So who's sitting across from me then?
So across from you, I think, is a... Let's see, hang on. Because I wasn't 100% sure what you guys were doing, I didn't necessarily have... Let's see. Yeah, you have someone who looks very tall and elegant, sort of a kind with Queen Solomonia, but not quite as impressive. But she is dressed in a gown that really just evokes a forest, and there's just various flowers adorning it, and she has a little braided crown of flowers.
I would make small talk, but I am personally very, very bad at that, so I'm gonna just sit, I guess.
All right. So, the gentle murmuring of small talk grows quiet, and you all look, follow the glances of everyone else at the table, and floating down from the air is this mote of light that you've seen Queen Solomonia travel as before, and it floats down to hover in front of the chair at the head of the table, and then in a flash transforms to Queen Solomonia, and everyone else at the table immediately stands and gives some sort of a waving salute.
I mimic that.
I'm just gonna stand.
Mhm.
Straighten my shirt a little bit.
So beautiful.
So,
So,
Cadence, Nira, do you attempt the same sort of gesture or no?
I would definitely stand.
I would try the gesture.
Yeah, I suppose I would probably win. It's like a win in Rome kind of thing. So yeah.
Well, yeah, like at that point, it would have been like only you not doing it.
Yeah.
So,
Stand in salute with a little wave.
oh, we got
Ah.
Hey.
why am I?
how did you
uh,
sneak in? You snuck
hang
in.
on, I
He's
need
the one
to-
you hid, I think.
All right,
First time I roll a good stealth.
hang on. So, for some reason, I don't have you on the.
You know, he's not wearing his armor. He's really
Yeah,
quiet. you know?
it's like because he's
Oh,
not wearing
alright.
armor.
All right, hang on. I have to get you showing on the screen. I'm not sure why it didn't work already.
Quiet, Otterkey. You talk too much.
Okay. There you're gonna be. Sorry, I'm briefly covering up Starla.
Oh my god.
Well, I told you,
Fine.
he does have a very large presence in your peripheral vision. So,
All right. So, Otterkey, since we do have you now, I think last time when Otterkey went to get his fancy party clothes fitting, I didn't want to presuppose what sort of outfit Otterkey would have requested. So, now that you are here, what do Archie's fancy party clothes look like?
Archie's fancy party clothes. I think it'd be like a creamy white based like Nehru jacket that folds over kind of one side with that flat kind of cuff thing, and then green viney filigree that kind of goes to green, and then as it heads down to his limbs, changes colors into an autumn reds and oranges. And
Wow, very nice, very nice. So here at the gala so far, you have you were accosted for a while by a lobster man by the name of Sir Pinchoff, who was very eager to drone on about military tactics at you. You also had an encounter with a little cluster of what looked like probably teenage giant girls who were easily 25 feet tall, but very giggly to talk to you. But
awesome.
since then, you have been all summoned here to the head of the table. Clearly, the positions of honor, and Queen Solomonia has arrived. And as she appears, she just speaks and says, "My guests, my subjects, you are welcome here with me as we celebrate. We celebrate the successes, the victories, the adventures of some truly renowned individuals who hail from the material plane but have risen to become champions of the multiverse, and who have now sworn their fealty to me. Welcome, the guests of honor, Cadence of the Water." She's gesturing like at each of you in turn, giving you a moment to.
I just sort of stand there, like,
And then, Ket of the Sands.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, thank you. Knock, knock. Who's there? Robin. Robin who? Robin you. Ha! Put up your fingers. Ha! Just kidding. I love you all. Thank you.
There's polite like applause.
Uh,
And then gesturing, Nirakina Ethu.
So I will kind of stand up and maybe bow a little bit and look at everyone, and I'm done.
Autarky.
I'll stand up and do the wave with the thaumaturgy fire flare between the horns.
Ooh. Yeah, you get some oohs and ahs. And last but not least, Alaric Copperbeard.
It's just a lark. It's fine.
Very well. These adventurers have sworn to retrieve an artifact and present it as a gift to this court. An artifact thought lost for the ages. The Codex Panoptica. And everyone is just like applauding, like, woo, yeah, hooray, hooray.
I'm throwing nasty looks at the rest of them because this doesn't feel like what I signed up for.
She looks she's glances briefly at all of you, but is mostly still in announcement mode and just says, many of you will have had the opportunity to speak with these heroes at some point during our mixer, but all of them will soon be undertaking a perilous journey for the glory of the Dawn Court. Tonight, however, they are happy to display their skills for all of you. But first, we dine. And then she sits, and as she reaches out to wave over her plate, you know, Harry Potter style, the food appears. And for each of you, in front of you, like, again, I want you to tell me, in your character's mind, what are they hungry for right now? Because that's what shows up on the plate.
I'll go first. Mine is fish and chips.
Nice.
yeah, man. Mine is milk and chicken.
See, that's why you have that in the mansion. It's like, that's what you want.
Mm-hmm. Fried chicken.
Very nice.
I think it's got to be, although he will kind of glance over towards Cadence a little apologetically, as it is a delightfully roasted suckling pig, complete with apple in the mouth.
I just glare at him.
A whole pig?
A suckling, so yeah.
Okay. All right.
Mine is probably a beautifully arranged salad with maybe some mixed greens and some finely sliced strawberries and a little bit of a balsamic glaze on it, and it's very, very prettily arranged.
Very nice.
I think Auditory would have like a kind of a seafood gumbo with crawfish, river-grown crawfish, and on the side, a little platter with half a dozen of those wonderful candied lizard tails.
Very nice. So, as you guys are all sort of taking in this lovely bounty in front of you, it occurs to you that nobody else has started eating. They're all looking at you.
So I did have an idea, guys.
Mm.
Okay.
Well, we're the entertainment, aren't we?
Yeah.
I think that's more Cat's job, really.
could tell knock-knock jokes, but I can't sing or nothing.
Well, yes, but we could tell the guests a story.
Ooh.
Story?
Something we can all be a part of.
I mean, what kind of story?
Our story. They can't get that anywhere else.
That is true.
I suppose. But what part of it? I mean, we can't tell the whole thing. That's just,
No.
it'd take too long.
It'd take a little bit to kind of teach the lines, but I think we still got those wings in the bag of holding.
What?
Makeup and
So you do realize that like there are some people who have kind of like expectant, sort of hungry looking expressions, like they're looking at their plates and then at you guys.
If we
Well,
just tell them to eat.
I've already had something to drink, so like I'm already all in. So I will pick up my fork and I will stab at a strawberry and raise it to my lips and eat.
All right.
manja.
Where's the rest of it?
Yeah, I'll dig in.
All right. Is anyone not partaking?
I'm a little confused as to what the hell's going on here. Also confused
I
at
mean, I don't
Hiroshita's
think it
plate.
takes much of a role to say that like they're waiting for you guys to eat first.
Well, I guess I'll tuck in then. Bacon.
All right. Cat, Cadence, are either of you not eating? Oh, you're muted, Chin.
Muted.
I'm not eating.
Okay.
I am sleight of hand pretending to eat. I'm like,
Okay. It seems as though some of you eating is enough, and so once a couple of you have started to eat, the others begin.
Once some of you have started to eat the others.
Well, no, okay. The other guests. Once some of the guests of honor, they apparently don't have to wait for every single one of you to take a bite, but they were waiting for the guests
I am-
of honor.
I am a little
Typically
worried, though,
one-
that restaurant at the end of the universe style, the pig's going to turn to me. So, am I good? Am I good? Have a little bit of that bit there.
I think the proper etiquette is when 1/3 of the guests begin.
I wish I knew that kind of
I've been
magic.
served.
What? So, are you? How are you treating your decision not to eat, Cadence? Are you just sort of
I'm just acting casually. I'm not
okay?
like making it blatantly obvious. Like I'll play around.
You're
with
not
the,
pushing
you know.
your plate away and staring
No.
dead into the queen's eyes.
No.
There's a cat
No, like
going to push
I'll-
the plate off the table.
Yeah.
In a very cat-like gesture. No, like I would probably take my fork and like push things around.
All right.
You know, make it look like I'm eating, but not
Sure.
really.
So, and in your what are you doing with your sleight of hand, Cat?
I'm just like, I don't know. I'm kind of like,
Putting broccoli in your napkin? What's going on?
yeah. I'm kind of like, just like, I'm kind of like pretending to pick up food and put it in my mouth. Only there's nothing in my hand. I'm like picking at my chicken, my fried chicken, and pretending to nibble on it. You know, like.
Go ahead and make a. Let's see. You know what? I'll allow performance. I was going to say
Oh.
sleight of hand, but probably performance is better for you.
All right.
And you're kind of making a production of it, you know, like.
Yeah. So that is 20 not natural.
All right, that's pretty good.
Okay.
So I am.
Just for the record, I rolled a 3, but my performance is a 17.
Oh, okay. Not bad. So, I am, however, going to need both Ket and Cadence to make wisdom saving throws because this food smells really good. And you guys are kind of hungry. Hungrier than you would have thought.
Wisdom saving throw
Yeah.
is a
19.
15.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you both are able to resist, but you do feel your stomachs kind of gurgling. So,
Wow, this is amazing. I can't believe how good.
yeah.
A
Those
long
of you who are
time.
eating, yeah, it's very good.
I
So
You
really
know,
much.
admit-
like-
I lean over. I lean over to Cadence. So much for not eating the food. Hey, look at those pigs.
Yeah, look at that. I just glare at Alaric.
I hold up my glass of milk to Robert.
Robert.
So as the queen takes a seat, and you notice actually she's not eating herself either. Like, of course, she's not eating. She is not eating. She does not even have really a plate in front of her with food on it. It just seems to be, she's the hostess, not the participant. But she does just sort of glance around at you and just say, I hope you are not too taken off guard that I'm eager to show you off a little.
Go on, Alaric, talk. You like
Why
to do
would
that.
we be?
We did sort of assume that would be the case.
I mean, I didn't assume that, but I guess I'm not really. This is all a little new to me. All of this fancy stuff. What are you expecting anyway?
Well, I leave that to you. But what my guests would most like to see, I think, are a display of the skills that have made you so accomplished. The skills which you will bring to bear on the quest that you will do for me.
Uh,
Hmm.
well, I don't know if that's necessarily going to be much of a show. Today, anyway.
Maybe
Why is that?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't want to mess up these fancy clothes, and I'm not really. Yeah. I guess I was ready for a party or something.
We didn't exactly come armed, Your Majesty.
Oh, did you think that I meant to foist some monster upon you and have you slay it at the dinner table?
No. That's
Yeah.
why we didn't come
Yeah.
armed.
Yeah.
It's happened
Yeah.
before.
Well, I leave it to you to decide how you would best like to display your talents. And of course, I'm not forcing you, but I would be pleased if you were to please my guests.
Well, and of course, you've shown so much hospitality. It would be only right for us to return that favor in the form of entertaining your guests.
I mean, I don't do jokes or anything.
Is there anyone at this banquet who looks like they're making unwanted advances on anyone else?
There's a lot.
Alaric. Just kidding.
I'm making unwanted advances on this pig at the moment.
Oink means oink. So,
Bacon means good.
I mean, there's a lot of people at this gala, so I mean, probably, but it's a question of like, do you mean is there anyone doing it right now within eyesight of you?
Yeah.
So you have a pretty good perception score.
Yeah.
So how about you make a roll?
That is perception a 22.
22. Yeah, I think that. I mean, it's not like anyone is dragging someone, so like they're just. But how about what you see is that there are a couple of kind of anthropomorphic bear people, and there is clearly one of them who is kind of going on at length and kind of coming on strong to a companion that looks not into it.
How far away are they from me?
I'd say about maybe 45 feet.
Okay. I'm going to keep an eye on them and see if it gets out of hand.
Okay.
And if it gets out of hand, then I want to know.
All right.
I'm
So
going to be
like,
keeping an eye on that.
okay. I mean, so I'm asking a little bit. Like, is this so that you can do something to show off your skills?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well.
Did you bring your bow?
I don't need my bow.
Ugh.
Mm.
Yeah, but I do.
No.
Damn, okay.
Nope.
The Queen Solomonia does say, if there is anything that you would need in order to perform whatever talent you would like to display, I can, of course, make those available. While that is at the tip of my tongue, how have you found Denobrium as a valet?
He's top notch.
Very interesting individual.
He's
Good.
incredibly accommodating.
Kind of
He's
mopey
very-
sometimes, though.
He's very emo.
Ah, yes. My Eladrin
of
tends to be moody.
Yes. I mean, he's not bad guy or nothing like that. He just, a little mopey sometimes. Maybe he could wear a bit of color.
Ah, well, there are others here at the table that I think could also use that advice. And she's clearly looking over at the Ice Prince, who looks over at her with just a dour expression and sips his drink at her.
Is his drink
my-
cooling as he drinks?
Yeah, there's clearly there's sort of the frosty breath sort of hovering in the air around it.
My great and beautiful queen, I have a question for you. I would very much love to show my skills to your guests and present to them, everything that I'm capable of doing. But unfortunately, I am unable to display my greatest talents at the moment because of the whole dragon thing, and he took my singing voice, and I'm not allowed to sing, and I don't remember how to sing. And is there any way you could maybe for a second give me back my singing voice and I could sing to your guests maybe? Because as it stands right now, all I can tell them is knock-knock jokes. And I mean, I'm happy to make them laugh and everything, and that's fine. I got a million of them. But, singing is my forte.
I understand. And it was my pleasure to release you from that tension in the space of a dream. But I'm afraid that is magic too powerful to disrupt for a party trick, even one as important as this.
I completely understand. It is okay. In that case.
Oh,
but yes,
Ted,
Richard?
I've been kind of, singing off and on like most of my life, and lately I've been kind of filled with, the I don't know, filled with, the joy, wanting to kind of cry out with joy, and you are such an amazing musician. Maybe we could do a duet kind of thing.
Oh my God, Archie, really?
You
Oh
can
my!
maybe-
sing.
This is
Maybe I could be your voice, right?
Oh my God, Archie, this is Queen. Would you like to see a performance from myself and Archie?
I would indeed.
Oh my God. Okay, hold on. Let me and I'll take out my instrument. Which one do I got with me? Well, I always carry something with me. Let me see. I'll take out my harp that I have, my wondrous harp. But I will play it, but not to cast a spell or anything like that.
Sure.
or we'll just play the harp. And Archie, do you want something upbeat, something a little mellow, a little jazzy? What would you like?
Definitely upbeat. This is a celebration.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the sounds of Karchi. And I start playing my harp
All right.
in an upbeat manner.
So I think what we're going to do is we're going to have performance checks from each of you, but a series of 3. So each of you roll
Okay.
one, and then you'll both roll another, and so on.
Okay.
You should have settled upon a Christmas song, and then you could see if you could do the 4-part harmony.
29 for my first one.
Not bad.
14.
Okay. Yeah. I think Archie, there was a moment where you're excited about this prospect, but then as it's time to actually do it, you hear Ket strumming just an incredible sound and melody on the harp, and it's a little intimidating at first, and you're not able to quite give it your all right at the beginning, but then let's get another roll from each of you.
Thinking.
I got 27.
That one's a soft 20.
Oh, see, there you go. But
There we
once you
go.
kind of get into it, you know, Ket's expert improvisational melodies on the harp is able to just really match everything you're doing vocally, and you have a lot of people who, yeah, there was a handful of the Fae that had been giving you sort of like, isn't that sweet that the mortals are going to try to play music for us? You know, we're being polite, but it's kind of like when you bring out the 6-year-olds to perform at your dinner party, right? But as you continue on, there's a couple of them going, huh, yeah, oh, it's very good. So what kind of song are you singing? What's it about?
Let's see. Well, it's definitely going to be a hopeful song. So maybe attempting to come up with metaphors for kind of our journey. So like scattered darkness and chaos, and now we're bringing order and spreading light and joy.
I'm half imagining a metal song. You better watch out. You better not cry, because Autarky is coming to town.
Oh yeah!
All right, so let's get a third roll from each of you.
Ooh,
36.
22.
So what was that for Archie? Your third one?
22.
Very nice. Okay, I was gonna say with Ket, I mean, we got a level 17 bard here, so
I break into a Tenacious D solo.
Yeah, you're doing the Michael J. Fox and Back to the Future thing, or like on your back on the floor, crawling around. One of the Fae rushes away from the table and pulls up just like a seashell and says, Elithon, you know that new sound you were looking for?
Elithon Berry.
Oh, I'm dying.
Yeah. So,
I got that paladin charisma working for me.
yeah,
right.
but yeah. So, and now that you're in the song and it's going well, and you see that you have the audience, you're able to just really go for it, and it's wonderful. I would imagine that the rest of you are kind of like, oh, wow. Like, I mean, I didn't expect you to be bad, but that's really good.
Woo, that's so much better than his knock-knock jokes. Woo!
And
Right,
as you finish, the assembled guests stand and applaud.
I run over and I
Thank
give
you.
Archie a big hug. Archie,
Hey!
protein shake, man. What's up? That's
All
awesome.
right.
All right.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, man. How is that, my queen?
It was lovely.
Thank you, oh beautiful queen.
Happy to contribute.
Yeah. Is it too late for that big monster?
At this point,
A big monster comes out.
yeah. So at this point, the queen kind of hears you mutter that and kind of looks thoughtful for a moment, and then she says, "Tulani, please come." And from about 15 feet down, an Eladrin woman who looks perhaps, I mean, she looks in her 30s, but like, what does that mean? But she is dressed kind of neatly. Like she seems to be female, but is wearing sort of a pretty straightforward, almost suit-like outfit rather than a dress. But promptly steps and walks over and just says, "I wonder if you would be interested in a duel with Alaric." And she turns to you, Alaric, and just says, "No blood, just sport."
I mean, I don't really fight for sport. It's life or death all the time. I don't know if a duel is something Oh, what the hell. All right, fine. What are we using?
Tulani says, "You may choose weapons if you like, but I have a pair of dueling rapiers present. They are blunted, if you need it to be blunted."
I mean, I don't really use the fancy sticks like that, but I can give it a try.
Is there another weapon that you would prefer?
Well, I'm more partial to axes myself, but I wouldn't want to. I mean, they're not really meant to be blunt, and when they are, it still hurts a lot.
And at this point, Tulani looks forward and just says, "I am sure that a warrior of your skill can make do. Contact, but not injury."
Sure. All right. Gonna hurt anyway.
The queen claps, and then just out from a curtain that wasn't there in the middle a moment ago, but it's like there's a curtain just suddenly hanging in space, and two servants come out holding a pair of their battle axes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
All right, Alaric, give him the business.
Stand up, kind of straighten my kind of tunic, and look down at the remnants, probably of a bit of the boar crap. Cast Prestidigitation to clean my beard. It's only useful for that spell.
So several people kind of scoot their chairs around as you take up positions, and one of the Archfey snaps their fingers, in a circle about 30 feet in diameter. It just sort of glows on the floor, and the Tulani looks to you and just says, "Would you like the first strike, or shall we just go for it and see what happens?"
I mean, I don't know how long you've been doing this, probably longer than I have. Might as well just make it an even draw, and we'll do what we do.
Very well. A hit is a point, and first to 3 points.
What of other skills? I'm not only good with an axe, but I've learned a few things of magic.
Well,
Are they allowed, or are they forbidden?
she kind of smirks at you and then just says, "I'm game for whatever you care to bring to the table."
I only wish to do it fairly. I wouldn't want to be accused of robbing people of their fun, I guess.
Well, I trust you that you would not kill me in a duel of honor.
Well, I have no desire to kill you. I don't even know you.
Very well.
Sure.
Then you are permitted to do as you like. I declare it so in front of all of these.
All right.
I, of course, will return the favor.
Yeah, I kind of figured that. All right, let's get this over with.
All right, so the two of you are going to roll initiative.
Dear, how do I do this again?
Oh, I lost my page. There we go.
That would be a 19.
Okay, yeah, that's first. You go first.
All right. I'm going to start circling around.
Mm-hmm.
First things first, I'll cast Mirror Image.
All right.
There are 4 of me, I think, actually, circling around. Feeling the weight of the axe, trying to kind of, it's a little smaller maybe than the axe I'm used to. A
Mm-hmm.
little less fancy, but it'll do.
Yeah, so it's a non-magical battle axe.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to, to feel out and kind of feint a little bit. I'm going to use my my bonus action to wait. I always forget how that works. One moment, please. I haven't used all these things. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Where's my? How do I? I don't even. All right. Yeah. No, that's it. That's my action. So I'm good.
All right. So I'm sorry, I was briefly distracted with something. So you just kind of circled around. You didn't make any attacks this round.
Nope. I cast that spell. That's my action.
Right. Oh, okay. Mirror image. You see as you do that she is sort of delighted, and then she does the same.
This is going to take a while.
And then, all of a sudden, in the middle of this fighting circle, a cloud of fog begins to form, gradually obscuring the fighting circle. And there's a lot of kind of grumbling of like, whoa, what is this? Is this we were wanting to watch?
Did you do that?
You don't hear her, or rather, you don't see her, rather. You do hear her, and she just says, I rather wondered if it was your doing. It does seem to have disappointed much of our audience.
It's not my trick.
Very well.
Boo, boo, hiss, boo.
Yeah.
Boo worms.
I think Nira, Queen Solomonia, glances over at you with a
Focus.
raised eyebrow.
It's kind of like, thought it would be interesting.
Nira, what did you do?
Nothing.
So at this point, it is your turn again, Alaric, but you are sort of obscured in fog.
All right. Approximately how far away did I think she was?
So she was, she was, let's say, 15 feet.
Okay. And how big is this this area of fog? Can I see how wide it is, or
I
am I
believe
in
it's
it?
a 20-foot diameter, so it's actually bigger than the circle, although, even though the circle appeared on the floor, it doesn't, you didn't discuss rules that if you're forced out of the circle, that's a forfeit or anything like that.
All right. Well, that's fine by me. I'm going to, with the edge of the circle, kind of some spot that I know, walk towards the center of the circle, and cast Thunder Wave.
Okay.
It's a 15-foot cube originating from me, so up in the direction I feel that she's in.
All right.
And it is a Constitution saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of stomp down, and this big thunderous wave comes through the clouds.
Okay. They get a 13.
Thunder.
13 is a fail.
Okay.
Let's see. That's 5 thunder damage, and they're pushed 10 feet away from me.
Okay. So I think that probably it does not disrupt the fog, but
Nope.
everyone can sort of see a shockwave ripple through the fog, and you hear Tulani gasp with surprise. Ah, well,
I'm gonna use my bonus action to hide in the fog,
okay.
but I'll call out, "Are you out yet?"
Out. It's first to 3 points. So at this point, let's see.
I don't know if the fog adds anything to hiding.
Well, yeah, I think technically you're making it with advantage.
30.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. You have hidden within the. It is totally obscured, right? I believe the fog cloud spell. So at this point, let's see.
It says heavily obscured.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's basically you're blind essentially. Let's see. Gosh.
A cleric that blinds people instead of.
Yeah. Well, I think that, I mean, they get to make a perception check, but I don't think they can beat 30. So, you just you hear them kind of hunting through the fog and just saying, "I'm going to find you." But it's your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna try to locate them from that perception, or from that fog.
Okay, well, you're
the
going to
call
make
out
your
with
own perception roll with a disadvantage.
Yep. There. Oh, 13.
13. No, not sure, really.
Okay. Let's see. How about this one? Okay. I'm going to make my best guess at where she might be.
Just realized
And-
technically she should have had advantage on one of those other checks, but that's fine.
Okay. Bring it on. Let's see. Okay, yeah. This time I'll be kind of kneeling down a little bit, put my hand to the ground, and cause it to shake.
Okay,
Again, approximately the direction she's in, so I don't know if that's right or not,
all right.
as I cause an earth tremor.
Okay. So is this a spell?
Yep. Yep, it's a dexterity saving throw if she's in the area. It's a 10-foot area, I guess.
Can you read the spell?
You cause a tremor in the ground within range. Each creature other than you in that area must make a dexterity saving throw.
What does
And
it
it's
say the range is? 10
range/area is 10 feet.
Okay, so that would be within 10 feet of you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That would be
Okay.
radius. So yeah.
Yeah. I think she's not within 10 feet of you.
Okay. It was an attempt. I'll use my bonus action to hide again.
Okay, go ahead and roll with advantage.
Wow, those are terrible. 22.
So I think there's starting to be some grumbling from the assembled audience because the whole point of this was so that they could watch. And at this point, the queen leans over to you, Nira, and just says, "Is this more exciting?"
I thought it would be. At least it would last a little longer. But so I did have a mechanics question on that because it's a concentration spell. but it said it lasts for the duration or
If you hold
until-
concentration, you
Okay.
can make it go away.
Okay.
Did I misinterpret something about that you wanted to happen? Or
No, I just thought it would be. I kind of thought I would be giving Alaric the advantage.
well,
in that,
you
and then
are
he would
in a
be
sense,
hiding
but
it.
it's also like
Yeah.
nobody can see what's happening.
Yeah. All right, so I'll just kind of wave it off and be like, I don't get to have any fun.
All right, so the fog does dissipate at that point.
So where we just we're standing beside each other.
Well, no, you're still across the circle from each other, but both the fog dissipates and reveals that both individuals still appear to be four. You know, there's essentially blurring images of your various mirror images, and the images of Tulani grin and just say, "Ah, that's better." And then all of a sudden, Alaric, Tulani is standing right next to you. Just like was over there and is now here without having appeared to cross the distance. And makes a, what is this? 18 to hit.
Easy. Yep.
And then-
We'll see.
And another 18 to hit. And you find yourself just briefly, well, okay, so for those two attacks, I guess roll to see which, if any of them are mirror images or what.
Let's see. The first one is me,
Okay.
and the second one is also me.
Oh, really? Okay, well, just luck. But she sort of slaps you on the shoulder with the flat of the axe, just thump thump, and then all of a sudden, she, let's see,
Oh, actually, I'll use my reaction.
okay,
Never mind. That's
Okay.
not going to make a difference.
all right, but they gosh, that's a powerful ability. I was just gonna say they misty step back to the other end of the circle.
Yep, that's pretty good. I'm just laughing. Well done. Well done. It's much better when we can see each other.
Indeed. And she does sort of an elaborate move that's almost like a dance, and with the various mirror images, it's like she has backup dancers, and then it kind of ends with one of those little, this little wave come and get it sort of moves.
All right. It's my turn, is it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I will laugh, and I'll tell her, let's not make it over so quickly, shall we? And I cast Blur.
Okay. Can you have blur? Can you have blur
Yep.
and misty step?
Mirror image is not concentration.
Oh, interesting. It's actually kind of hilarious too, for reasons that I will explain in a moment. I'm just double checking how a couple of things work.
Yes, she's got all the abilities I have, plus Misty Step.
Kinda, but it's a coincidence. I had this NPC prepared, but I didn't necessarily know that it would be you. Okay, so I see with the rolls for the Misty Step. Okay. She laughs and she just says, "How well matched we are," and she casts Blur also. And yes, both of you now are Misty Stepped and blurred, or rather mirror imaged and blurred.
All right then. Let's do this. And I charge forward.
Okay.
Axe raised high. Let's see if I can actually hit anything. I don't know what this. Let me see. Where's my thing here? Because this is not my normal axe.
Hmm.
So it would be just my dex,
Well-
dex. Or wait, strength bonus.
Yes,
proficiency?
strength and proficiency.
Okay. First strike is. Oh, that would have been nice. 21.
21 hits.
Okay.
Oh well,
Uh,
hang on. It is a hit against AC.
Yep.
But let me just double check how these various things work.
So you roll a d20 and have to roll over.
Was that with disadvantage? Because
Yes.
she is blurred. So 21 with disadvantage, and so she rolls for the Misty Step or the Mirror Image. Gosh. Rolling a d20, and it's a 14. So that first hit dispels one of her duplicates.
Okay. Second strike. Oh, that's not as good. That is a 12.
A 12 is a miss.
Okay. Third strike. Ah, that's only an 11.
Okay, so yeah, that's a miss as well.
Okay. I will use my bonus action
Mm-hmm.
to what is it called? Action surge.
Okay.
Let me go again.
Yeah.
There's some fishing for crits. Right. Yeah, that's an 11. This is not going well.
Hmm.
That one's cocked. Okay, that's a 21 to hit.
That'll hit again. So let's roll again for the mirror image with 2 duplicates. Oh, it's a 7, so that's a hit. That's a hit on her. I assume you are
Yeah.
doing, training hits, not real.
Yeah.
hits.
Just the side of the blade.
Whap! So you get her.
Okay. And then the third strike is a 13 to hit.
A 13 misses.
And oh, that doesn't require a bonus action. So I'll use my bonus action to disengage and move it back.
Okay. She is clearly impressed with you. She's just saying, "Very good." All right. Well, let's see. Let's finish, shall we? And Misty steps immediately toward into your vicinity again and is making 1 attack with disadvantage because you're blurred as well. I should roll concentration for for their
Blur?
blur. Yeah, easily. So now they're rolling to attack with disadvantage, and that is a 15.
Okay. Let's see if that is a duplicate. It does.
Okay. And then
Close that time. Close. Keep going.
and then that is going to be a dirty 20.
Okay. That hits me.
Okay. So
Yep. Nope. That's all I can do. Yep.
all right. And so she stands back and just says, "That's 3 points, though I wager if this were a fight to the death, you would provide a substantial challenge."
Maybe if I had my armor on my own axe, I could give you a better difficulty. Also, the important thing, we're dueling one-on-one. And if there's one thing that I've discovered, I don't like to fight alone. I have my friends to back me up.
She looks at you, like the sort of the playful humor fades a little, like not fades, but like it grows more thoughtful, and she just nods and then steps back and gives an elaborate bow to you and says, "It was an honor to challenge you, Alaric Copperbeard."
Alaric, and I thank you for the challenge, although I fear I didn't prove as entertaining as people had liked.
Well, not all fights are about entertainment. And when it counts, I'm sure you will be there for the friends that you fight with.
Either that or I'm dead. Either way, I gave it my all.
And then she leans into you and says, now for the crowd. And then she kind of turns as though she's going to bow to all of the people watching and kind of side eyes you, like, doing this with me?
Right. Bowing.
All right. And
Axe raised high.
the two of you bow, and then everyone is applauding. Yay!
Yay! I'll be there for you, Alaric. Yay!
Woo!
You're there for me too.
Don't get mushy.
Now that I'm ran that NPC a little bit, one of their powers is surprisingly, like, I think, potentially broken if you were going to do a real combat with them. But that's fine.
I mean, Misty Step's pretty nice.
Oh, for sure. But they have an ability that, okay, let me just for brief meta fun for everybody, this is an NPC from the Strongholds and Followers book.
Mhm.
And they have an ability that just says, oh, okay, I see. It's got a clever little bit here. I was reading it as they teleport next to an enemy, make 2 rapier attacks with advantage against that enemy. But it says if the count teleports. So that means the Misty Step they can do at will is not twice per turn, it's once.
Ah.
That's what fixes it. So, it's just as well. That one came down to the dice because it was the two of you both doing, it's just attacks
Well,
at disadvantage against Misty's mirror image. So, in
I mean,
any
I
event,
have a 13 AC, so it's not too hard to hit me right
yeah.
now.
So, with one last sort of salute to you, Tulani hands her axe back to the servant who is waiting for it and returns to her seat. And Queen Solomonia says, well done, Alaric, both in the display of prowess, but also in the lesson, which is, I believe, an important one.
It's a hard-won lesson. One I didn't know if I was ever going to learn. Still, I'm sorry I wasn't as entertaining as you'd hoped.
Alaric, I think that it may be your own conception of how entertaining you are is not commensurate with how others may feel about it.
Well, the others have laughed at me a lot, so you might be right there.
I want everyone, I guess everyone can make an insight check too, just about kind of that whole situation.
$18.
17.
Insight. 24.
Okay.
And 12 for Archie.
Yeah. So I think all of you generally get the impression that the audience did not seem disappointed with that. They, especially once the fog went away, because then they could see what was happening. But I think, Cadence, you realize in particular that the assembled crowd seemed to believe that Tulani is an exceptional fighter, and so therefore anyone who could even hold their own is impressive. So, at this point, you return to your seat, Alaric?
Yep, pick up where I left off, I think. Oh, is there anybody serving any kind of drinks?
Yes. You find, if you say that out loud, you find someone at your side with a platter of, it's more of the beer if that's what you want, but...
That'll do. I'll take a large swig of that.
All right. How many of those have you had now?
I think that's my third.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw with advantage because that's a dwarf thing.
Oh, that advantage was good. because it was a terrible roll. 17.
All right, yeah, you're fine. No problem.
It's not even dwarven ale.
Yeah. The dwarf that can't drink 3 beers and be fine is, I don't know. That's judgmental.
The dwarf I want to party with.
Yeah. So in any event, you're doing fine. At this point, I think that Nira and Cadence, although the queen has not said anything, you gather, sort of looking down the table, that there seems to be sort of a little bit of an aura of expectation of like, what's next?
I've been watching that bear guy like this whole time.
It has been a relatively stable dynamic of him bear-splaining to his companion about a variety of things, and her just seeming like she was watching the fight and entertained, but like kept getting annoyed when he kept trying to lean over to tell her things about what was happening.
Bear splaining.
Does she look like ridiculously annoyed, or just like, oh, just stop?
She looks like every time we go anywhere fancy, you just. So she looks long suffering. Like,
Just do it. Just do it, Cadence.
Yeah. I'm gonna cast banishment on him.
okay. So that's a charisma saving throw?
I believe so. Let me double check.
All right.
Banishment. Yep.
All right. Go ahead and roll that. All right. So rolled an 18, and I was going to give him a -1 though. So a 17?
That is my saving throw.
Okay, so I think he suddenly gets a strange look, like, oh, and he's looking around like he clearly felt something but did not disappear. You got lucky.
Yeah. And I'm like, if he makes eye contact with me, I'm just gonna be like,
So, at this, he does make eye contact with you, and you do that, and he immediately stands up, slamming his paws down on the table. So he stands up so roughly that his chair kind of scoots back and goes against the floor, and everyone's kind of like, ooh, something's happening. And he just says, "My lady, did you attempt to cast a spell on me?"
well, you see, what had happened was, I did. Because I've been watching you for like the last 45 minutes. And you're driving this poor woman insane. Have you ever been to a party where you're like getting entertained and someone else is watching the entertainment and you just sit down, sir. Enjoy the party.
My honor has been impugned. I demand an apology.
I will not give you one. So we will duel if that is what you wish.
Very well. That is what I wish. And he starts lumbering over in your direction, but he's kind of reaches out to the servants and says, "No weapons for me. She may have whatever she likes."
This could be interesting.
Do you want me to polymorph him into a chicken?
No, this is my battle.
Okay, man.
I would like
If you need me to turn him into a pig, let me know.
I would like a bow, please.
A bow? All right. So they, the servant goes and retrieves you a bow and a quiver of arrows. I think as you are doing that, you do hear just briefly in your mind Queen Solomonia saying, "If you kill him, he'll be fine."
All right. And I look over at Nira, and I'm just kind of like, wait.
So at this point, the excited attendees create the little magical circle again, and this guy, now that he's sort of standing up and walking around, he's definitely sort of, he's a bear person, right? Not just a bear, but clearly like humanoid, but with bear features, and just wearing sort of a I was going to say an ill-fitting tuxedo, but it actually looks like it's a very well-made tuxedo that's just small on him, and so his fur is poofing up like around it.
You're saying it barely fits him.
That's right.
Okay, just checking. Is he bare feet? Barefoot?
I cast Finger of Death on Alaric.
I block with the fork.
Yeah, you hold up a spoon and it reflects off and hits the queen. Oh no! I assume you don't really do that.
No, of course not.
Yeah. So, but the bear just says, "I will not stand by and allow my honor to be impugned, even by a guest of our illustrious queen. My apologies, my lady, your radiant grace, but I must defend myself."
Can I do something before they start fighting?
Sure.
I'm gonna be like, of course you're not going to stand by and watch your honor be smitten like this. You're going to dance, bear, and I cast Otto's Irresistible Dance on him.
All right. So I believe that works immediately for the first round, right?
I
believe it does.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does. Yeah.
So at this point, tell me what the I like the idea that there's music accompanying it. So what is the song that he's dancing to?
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Okay. He immediately starts sort of very prancy, like bouncing dance, and he's just looking around, going, "What? What is this? The dances of the five winds have claimed me. This is highly irregular. How could you let this happen in your palace, my queen?" And he's just doing this dancing.
Your attack rolls have advantage, Cadence.
Okay.
All right. So you both roll initiative.
Okay.
All right.
22.
He got an 11. So you're gonna go first.
All right. I am going to take my action to cast haste on myself,
All right.
and that's my action.
Don't you get your hasted action in your? First
I don't think so, because that's my action. I think it's like my next turn. I'm hasted after that, because usually I cast it before we go somewhere, like when we like right at the beginning.
I think you get it right away. I'm going to rule that you do, regardless of what the spell normally says. I'm saying that it does.
All right. So I will fire off an arrow at him.
Yeah, because it's like you use it, and once it's in effect, you gain an additional action on each of its turns, and it doesn't say it doesn't go until the next turn.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
so.
wait. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
That is this is just a regular bow, right?
Yeah.
With advantage.
That's with advantage.
Well, that was a natural one, and the first one was so it would be 23.
23 definitely hits. He's a big bear.
And that is 12 points of damage.
Okay. You see the arrow strike him, and then just basically like pop back out, and you can see that the tip's not even bloody.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, any other action or?
I just Bruce Lee him. I'm like,
All right. So he is charging you.
Look, he's dancing.
Well, he's charging you in a very dancey way. Is he? So
No, he can't. He can't leave. His
he can't move. Oh, okay.
No.
All right. Well, he just continues dancing then, and he's just like, "This is infuriating."
Have a very shiny nose.
So, does he make a saving throw at the end of his turn, or?
As an action, a dancing creature must make a wisdom saving throw to regain
Okay.
control of itself.
Well,
yeah.
that's what he's going to try to do then.
Okay.
Wisdom saving throw. That's gonna be a 16. No, 17.
That fails.
All right. He is still dancing, and he cannot charge you.
And if you ever saw
All right, so it's my turn again.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to fire my first shot at him,
All right. Still
and
with
that
advantage.
is. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
So that one is a 22,
Mhm.
and that is also 12 points of damage.
So once again, and I'll say you're sure this time, you're clearly hitting him, and it's just not hurting him.
All right. I'm going to use my bonus action
Mhm.
to cast Lightning Arrow.
All right.
Yes, I'm in.
She's like, finally!
lightning.
Tag team. Sparkle Kitty, let's go. All right. And then I'm going to fire my next shot, and that is a 29 to hit.
Okay. So this is the lightning arrow.
Yep.
Yeah, 29 definitely hits.
Okay. So that is. Well, those are D10s, not D8s. All right. So 2, 7. 20 points of lightning damage
All right.
and 14 points of regular damage.
Okay. You get the feeling that it's only the lightning that hurts him, but that hurts him.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So Nira intended to ride that thing
Okay.
as it zoomed past her.
Well, so here's a question. I was assuming that Cadence had gone around to sort of stand on the side of the circle where this whole thing was happening, and that Nira would not necessarily have been right there unless you moved around to be there. You can have done that if you want, but that's what it would take. You would have had to go and stand by the side of the circle where she is.
I did wink at her too, so I mean that could be the signal to hey.
Yeah, I was counting on this. So
Yeah, so no, I'll allow that you
okay.
did do that, but you would have had to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. That's fine.
All right, so you are now, you have now appeared right next to this dancing bear.
Okay. And do I have to roll initiative or can I just go?
No, I think you have to
insert me
roll.
here?
Yeah, you have to roll initiative.
Ricky.
Yeah, you just use your reaction to do that.
Yep. And that is +2. That is a 21.
Okay. So I think you're after Cadence, and so Cadence, do you have more of your turn?
I have one more hit.
Okay.
And that is a 13 to hit.
Uh,
Oh wait, no, I get advantage, right?
Yeah, you do.
Oh, that's a natural 20.
All right. Okay. So if it's just a regular arrow, don't even bother rolling the damage because you are convinced now he is immune to non-magical piercing damage.
Okay. All right. That's all I got.
But Nira, now it's your turn.
Well, I'm just gonna kind of reach out and touch someone with a little shocking grasp.
Okay.
And so that is a 29.
29, yeah, hits.
Yeah.
He's a giant bear who's being forced to caper and dance comically. So,
Right.
yeah, he's not hard to hit.
Well, and he's also going to get pushed back, so let's see, 48, 7, 9, 10, 14 points of damage,
All right.
and he's going to get knocked back.
You reach out and touch. Crackle of electricity jolts across. He flies backwards, his fur all poofed out, standing on end. He lands prone, but is still doing a on his back dance. But it's his turn, so I think as part of the dance, he can probably make himself stand up, but still dancing. And so he is going to try once again to stop dancing.
All right.
That time he got a dirty 20.
Okay, that succeeds.
And so I think he finally shakes his head and stops dancing, and he just says, "What kind of duel is this? If others aren't participating, I demand a second of my own."
Bring it.
Now it gets messy.
And you hear sort of a chirpy, vibrating voice say, "I will stand as your second." And you see that it's what looks like a praying mantis person. Stands up and he claps his upper pair of arms, and a pair of rapiers appear in his hands. And then he approaches the circle. He's going to roll initiative as well.
I fold my arms and look at Archie and Alaric and just be like, man, those guys are so dead.
For real.
All right, so he
Probably.
got 18. So it would actually be, let's see, he's going to be after Nira. Okay, so that was the bear's turn to break free of that, but that means, Cadence, it is your turn again.
Okay.
But this mantis knight has approached the circle and appears poised to engage.
I'm gonna cast banishment on that guy.
Okay.
So he has to make a wisdom saving or a charisma saving throw of 17.
All right. He's got a pretty good charisma, but let's see. Oh, he rolled a 19 plus 4.
Okay.
Banishment
So then-
is not going your way so far.
Yeah. You never know.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah.
And then for my second action, I'm gonna bonus action lightning arrow, and I'm gonna fire at the bear guy again.
All right. So it's no longer at advantage,
Right.
but he's still got a pretty low AC. It's a big, chunky bear.
That is a 31.
I think you hit.
Oh.
Yeah. You can get this thing up his nose.
All right, that is 14, 15, 17 lightning damage,
All right.
and then I'm not even gonna roll the regular damage.
Yeah. The bear is immune to non-magical damage. All right. Yeah. So you hit him. Kapow! Nira, you are now, probably equidistant between the mantis knight and the bear.
So, given that Cadence had been flying around on a Pegasus, can I make the assumption that this is a pretty large room?
It's huge. It is.
So,
It's like a ballroom, but it's impossibly big. It makes no physical sense how big this room is.
like, it could probably accommodate a storm cloud, correct?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. We're doing this then.
I am Jack's sense of approval.
I am going to call a lightning. And that bad boy is coming right down. In the cloud.
So, do you run up next to one or the other of these characters first?
Uh,
Because you blasted him away from you the last turn.
Yeah. Well, my intention was to call it down on me and head up
Well,
into the cloud.
Right, but that
Does
first
it
bolt
still-
could still hurt
Oh,
one of
okay.
them
Because
if you're.
I have never used it that way before. So
Oh, yeah. Well, when
Yeah.
it hits everyone within a 5-foot radius of where it hits.
yeah. I'm gonna charge the mantis guy,
All right.
and just like when I get right up in his face, boom, I'm gone.
Okay, let me just make sure he doesn't have some weird thing that would prevent that.
I hope it's
Yeah.
not one of your favorites, Queen.
Nope, he doesn't. And he hasn't had a turn yet to do any of his other stuff. So he does roll his saving throw with advantage, though. So it's a dexterity saving throw.
19.
Yeah, he gets a
Cricket.
dirty 20, so it will be half damage.
Okay. 3d10. 1d10s. You? No. Ooh, yes. I just rolled 2 10s, so that's 20 and another 2, so 22.
All right, yeah. That is a pretty substantial hit for this guy. He looks less robust than his giant bear friend. But yeah, so let's see. 49. And he's blasted back too, away from the shockwave as you disappear into this storm cloud. And there's definitely a lot of everyone going, woo, woo, yeah.
Leaning over to Otterkey beside me. Never gonna get tired of seeing that. No, don't worry about it.
Yeah, Archie had like a mouthful of like gumbo. Whoa. Whoa. All right, so that makes it the Mantis Knight's turn. He is going to get up. Hang on, let me make sure I have some of these spells right. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Sorry, one moment. This guy is going to cast a spell. Yeah, okay, so I think what he does is first he's going to run over to you, Cadence, and make 4 attacks, or no, excuse me, make 2 attacks with his rapiers on you.
Okay.
So that's going to be a 15 to hit,
That hit.
and that one probably won't hit. That's a 9 to hit.
Nope.
All right, so that's one of these hits, and that's going to do 6 piercing damage to you. But with one of his other forearms, he gestures a spell over to the bear, who sort of shimmers with magical energy, and he's just like, "Hey, what was that? What did you do? What did you do?" But he's clearly grumpy still. All right, so that was the Mantis Knight's turn. He's still right up in your face, Cadence. It's the bear's turn, though, now, and absent another target, he is also now, finally, going to charge you, Cadence.
Okay.
And he is going to, let's see. Yeah. Hang on. Yeah, he's going to bite you, or try, anyway. He got a crit.
Nice.
All right, so where's my D10? And there we go. Okay. He does 33 piercing damage, and I need a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution 20, not natural.
All right, that's a success. So you are he bites really hard though,
Yeah, he does.
especially when he crits. Yeah.
Jeez,
Yeah.
Otterkey, that looked like it hurt. You think we should get in there? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
So
kind of funny seeing them fight up front for once.
Looks like fun.
I mean, I don't want to piss them off. I don't want to be the other side of that arrow either.
so
It's
that
just going to turn into an all-out brawl.
so that was the bear's turn. It is now your turn, Cadence, but you've got both of these guys right up on you.
Okay, I'm going to bonus action Misty Step,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna cast Steel Wind Strike.
Ooh, that's a good spell. I like that spell a lot.
Yeah. So I'm going to hit both of them with a sledgehammer.
Mhm.
Hang on. So I gotta make a melee spell attack.
Yeah.
That is a 22.
So hang on, I'm checking the specifics of this spell because I think I think you're gonna make a separate attack against each of them.
Okay. Yeah, it says make a melee spell attack against each target.
Yeah. So 22 was against which?
The bear.
Okay, yeah, hits for sure.
Okay. So
You can roll the same damage for both if you hit both. So go ahead and roll for the mantis guy first too.
Okay. That one is a 28.
That also hits him.
Okay. So I'll have to roll 2. So that's 7, 15, 17, 24, 30, 33 points of force damage.
Wow.
So exactly what they did to you.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That's new. I don't think I've seen it do that. I think they're doing fine.
16. And then
That's my girl.
all right, so that basically, I think if you would like to describe the appearance of that, you can. Otherwise, I have an idea.
Go ahead.
So I think at this point, so I think technically this normally needs a melee weapon to make the attack with, which you don't have your normal stuff, but I'll allow it in this case that the bow is your primary weapon and you're just whacking them with it. I think that's fair. I'm absolutely happy to allow that. So, but you hold it up, brandishing it less like a bow and more like a quarterstaff. And then you blink out of existence, and all of a sudden, around these two is just this tornado of, and then you appear back where you were as though you hadn't even moved, and the two of them are like, oh, what just happened? And they're both reeling, clearly having taken a lot of damage, and everyone's just like, oh, wow. All right, Nira. You're up in the clouds.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I get to use this more than once. Usually they just finish everybody off right away, so interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna come down next to the mantis guy.
They're actually close enough you can get both of them.
Oh, okay then.
Mhm.
We're gonna do that. Let's see. Yeah, that is a dex save for them.
All right, yeah. So, Mantis Guy gets a 9. That's probably a fail.
No.
Yeah, and then Bear gets a 2. They both fail.
All right, so that is, let's see, 15 and 6. That's 21 points of damage, and they are both pushed 10 feet away from me.
Yeah, the Mantis Guy is out for the count. He goes skidding across the polished marble floor, clearly unconscious.
Oh, that was fun.
21, you said?
Yes.
Yeah, the Bear Guy is certainly still reeling, but he's still up, even though he is knocked backwards.
That's gotta hurt.
All right. It is the bear's turn then.
Just
And,
imagining us, we're doing this in dresses, like this is crazy.
yeah, right? And, this werebear is in a now torn and tattered, too small tuxedo. And he charges, let's see. He's still mad at Cadence. Cadence was the original target. So even though you're clearly helping she's the one he's mad at. So he's charging and he's going to try to bite you again.
Okay,
That's a 17.
that hits.
Yeah. So
I
not a
want my
crit this
armor
time. Yeah. Okay, that is going to be 14 piercing damage, but I do need another Constitution saving throw.
Nice. That is a 17.
Okay, that's a success. All right. Yeah, so he bit the crap out of you again. But now it is your turn.
Yeah, I am totally gonna lightning arrow him again. So bonus action lightning arrow.
Well, so right now he's right in your face, so you have to either back up or attack with disadvantage. Because
I'll attack with disadvantage.
Okay.
That is a 21.
21 hits, yeah.
Okay. So that is 13 points of lightning damage.
All right.
And because he's right in my face, I'll use my second attack to melee claw him in the face.
All right.
And that is probably not even going to hit. It's like an 11.
Well, hang on. This just occurred to me that it wouldn't have hit except that the spell. So the Mantis Knight cast Shield of Faith on the bear, but now the Mantis Knight is unconscious. So it is no longer in effect, and 11 hits.
Okay, so that's
However,
yeah, it doesn't do anything.
However, he totally no-sells the whole thing, you know, just like he does the whole thing where you claw him right across the face and you just like... Nope.
It was the gesture that mattered. That's all.
Yeah. All right, Nira.
All right, going to hike up my skirt just a little bit, enough so I can, move in it. Kind of dance my way over to him and calling down the lightning again.
All right. So think about this importantly, and I don't want you to give me a meta tactical answer. I want you to tell me what Nira would have done. The bear and Cadence are right next to each other. Where did you stand?
Behind him, like.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
So he makes a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah.
And he gets an 8.
Nope. And so he will take 9 and come back. That's only 11 that time,
Okay.
but also gets pushed 10 feet away from me. Hopefully not into Cadence, but
No, well, so make a dexterity saving throw for me, Cadence.
Sorry.
17.
What's your spell save DC, Nira?
19.
Is it 19 without your wand? Oh, no, you have your wand, though.
I have my one.
Yeah, 19. So that's a fail, Cadence.
Sorry.
The werebear
Buried under bear.
is blasted into you, and you don't take any damage, but he is now lying on top of you.
Well, he's not knocked prone. He's just pushed away from me.
I'm ruling that because you
Okay.
blasted him into her, they are both prone now with him on top of her.
Oh, he stinks.
And Nira's up in the sky again.
Oh shit, I meant to cast Healing Word as bonus action, but...
And it's the bear's turn.
Well,
So
that's about how we roll. Yeah, there we go.
he's going to make his bite attack against Cadence again with advantage.
Okay.
Because he's got you pinned, essentially.
Yeah.
All right, that is going to be a 21 to hit.
Oh, yeah. Totally hits.
And for a second I thought that was a 10, but it was the 10's percentile dice, so it's actually the 1. So it's not 13 piercing damage, and once again, Constitution saving throw.
16.
16 is a success. All right. He is looking really bad, but he is just in a feral like frenzy now. So it is your turn. He's currently like you're not grappled per se, but he's just like right over you.
Yeah.
That's probably
I'm-
not what she meant to do, Outer Key. Do you think we should get involved? No, you're right. Never mind.
I'm going
Oh.
to. I'm going to cast. I'm going to drop haste and cast Guardian of Nature
Okay.
and become a primal beast.
Ah! Okay.
Whoa.
So please read how that works, because
Be a little careful because haste is not an easy spell when you drop it.
Oh yeah, I can't move. But I'm already on the ground, so I can't move until my next turn.
okay.
So basically, I'm already furry, so I don't know how different I will look. But my facial features become feral, and I gain walking speed increased by 10 feet, dark vision up to 120 feet, strength-based attack rolls with advantage, and melee weapon attacks deal an extra 1d6 force damage on a hit.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's it.
All right.
Yeah,
Hang on.
yeah, she's fine. She's fine.
Yeah, so suddenly just I think there's so this is a giant bear man in a bloody snarling frenzied rage, and I think when you do that, even though you don't immediately move or do anything, there's a little bit of a oh.
That's actually a bonus action.
Okay.
So
Well-
I'm going to make a melee claw attack.
But if you're dropping haste, do you have to drop haste?
Well, if I cast another concentration spell, it would drop it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so I think when haste ends, you are stunned for like a round, I think.
Let me look at that again.
Yeah.
I can't move or take actions until after my next turn.
Right. Yeah, so when the spell ends, yeah, so after its next turn. So I think it would mean not only can you not make an attack this time, but not your next turn either.
Right.
But you look awesome.
Yeah. I look scary.
Yeah. Okay. So that was your turn. Nira, it is your turn, and you're up in the sky, but he's still on top of her. You can't hit him without hitting her.
Yeah, and I get that. So I was like, well, I messed that up. So I'm gonna come back down, just not on top of like.
So where you'll be
Toward-
there, but not hitting either of them.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Yeah, you,
and-
you land in the the superhero pose, and there's
Yeah.
shining.
And I just kind of
Shockwave.
sigh and shake my head because I know I messed that up.
You
And
know.
then, as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Healing Word on Cadence at level 5.
Nice. Go ahead and roll that.
I deserve. And let's see, 7, 9, 10, 13 plus 5, so 18. Back to you, Cadence.
All right. 18. Yeah. Okay.
Smooth out my dress a little bit.
All right. So that makes it the bear's turn. And he's clearly very injured, but he knows what's up. He knows what he's doing here. Or rather, like, he's committed at this point, is the point, right? So he is once again gonna make an attack. So did you stand up before you did that spell? Like, did you
Yeah.
get out from under him?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's standing next to you, but he's not like over you, so no advantage. Just regular attack.
Yep.
All right, that is a 16 to hit.
Oh yeah.
And that's 13 piercing damage. Once again, Constitution saving throw.
That is a Constitution 17.
All right. You're holding your own constitution-wise. Okay, so that's his turn. Your turn, Cadence.
I can't do anything, right?
That's correct. So I
Yeah.
think you feel just this wave of lethargy holding your physical form back, even as building within you is this primeval force. It's raring to go. Next turn.
Yeah. I'd like to imagine that I'm like at least frothing a little bit at the mouth.
So you get the sense. Well, make an insight check.
Natural 1.
Okay.
I'm super sleepy.
Yeah, you're a little out of it. Okay, so Nira,
Uh-huh.
it's your turn. You can make an insight check if you want to.
Yeah, sure, I'll do that. And that is 14.
This bear's not got much left in him.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna kind of sit back and I'm like, Cadence did a fancy thing and like, kind of look up at the cloud as like I could. And just kind of shrug it off and I'm going to cast Heal on Cadence.
Oh, okay. So that's what, 60, 70
70
points?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, there you go.
Hey, Otterkey, what is she doing? I don't recognize this stuff.
Man, even the
Oh,
DM
no,
was
wait.
That almost looks like healing.
Man, even the DM was surprised.
Nira's just got her hands on her hips and glaring at y'all. Really?
Well, you know,
It
it's
is
like,
now.
I'm just glad
You're
you're using all your
embarrassing me.
stuff for when I bring out the real boss fight. Haha, just kidding.
Yeah.
What
This
is...
bear's the toughest guy we've fought in weeks.
Huh. I'm just still amazed by this Guardian of Nature spell, which I didn't feel like I had heard about. I mean, I found it, so it's like real, but I just like I didn't know about it. I was like, oh, okay, cool, yeah. All right, so Nira heals Cadence. The bear, I think, is looking at you, looking super tough, and now much less injured. And he just takes a moment, and he's gonna try to bite you again.
Okay.
Because that's what he's doing.
Bear's got a bear.
14 to hit.
That is my armor class.
All right. And that is 15 piercing damage. Constitution saving throw.
Uh, 16.
All right. Yep. Now you're up again.
All
Now
right.
you can move. You are a guardian of nature. This guy's pissed you off.
I am going to. I'm gonna claw attack him
Mm-hmm.
because that's like my melee right now. So
Yeah.
That is 18.
18 definitely hits.
Okay, so it's 1d4 and 1d6. So 7 points of damage.
That's enough.
Nice.
Well, I'm assuming that this spell makes your attacks magical.
Yeah,
I don't know if
it's
I mean, I would hope so. Does it
it's
say?
it just says
Oh,
do
you do an extra 1d6 force damage on a
force
hit.
damage. Yeah.
So I think that it is your regular melee damage, which he's going to be immune to, and then force damage.
Yeah, the regular melee was 3.
Okay. So so you do 3 force damage. He shrugs off the regular bludgeoning, but he's still up, but he's reeling on his feet. Got another attack?
I think I do get 2 attacks. Yeah.
Yeah. If you
Yeah, I
have
do.
two
I
regular
did
attacks, yeah.
Yep. And that is 16.
It hits.
Alright. Same thing as before.
So there's a probably an advantage.
So
Hmm?
that is 3 points of force damage.
That does it.
Oh, nice.
So how do you take down the bear man?
I just claw him right across the face and just like rip off his skin.
Yeah, so
None
last
of it.
time you did the clawing across the face and it was just nothing. This time you leave big claw marks down the side of his face, and it's such an impact that it just sends him knocking to the side, and he doesn't come back. He just kind of continues on in that direction.
I'm gonna put the boar back now.
So Nera's just gonna kind of look around. Any more takers? No? We good?
I think as you look around, you see that someone has stabilized the Mantis Knight, but not healed him so far. Anyway.
That's nice.
I will actually walk over and cast Cure Wounds on the Mantis Knight.
Huh.
I'm gonna stand up and start a slow, genuine.
Oh
Black.
no, there is a little bit of a stunned moment with the audience of just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. But then with the clap, yeah, they join in. It's exactly how you want that slow clap thing to go. Oh yeah, woo!
So the Mantis Knight gets 7 points.
Very nice. His weird compound eyes sort of flutter, and you see his antenna twitch a little bit, and he kind of turns his head to you, raises a hand like, are you going to help him up?
Yeah.
And he says, you fought honorably. He deserved a second, but he is a boar of a bear. In the meantime, the lady companion of this bear has stomped around over to where the bear man is laying unconscious, and she kicks him in the shoulder and says, I can't take you anywhere.
It's rather unbearable.
I wanted so bad to give you lycanthropy, Cadence, but you kept passing your saving throw.
I'm so sorry.
Cat by day, bear by night. Like,
Oh
what?
my God.
I'm a werecat.
I can't bear
Games.
to watch.
Cadence the cat bear.
So just because I can and because it's still up, I'm gonna go up into the cloud one more time
All right.
and then put myself back in my chair via lightning.
There is a huge shockwave that sends all the dishes. So let's see. I'm trying to remember where you were sitting. Otterkey, make a dexterity saving throw. Along with the Fae to your other side.
That's okay, I can heal him.
Can you?
They get a 4.
She?
19.
All right. So Otterkey, you're going to take half damage on this lightning attack. The Fae is taking the other.
Ugh. I have to roll damage? Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're blasted backward. Away from you.
Okay, so that's
Now it's a party.
23.
All right, so yeah, that's half damage for you, Otterkey, but you are blasted 10 feet away.
I start walking
Out of
towards
your
the
chair.
table, and I
And
look at Mira, and I'm like, I can't take you anywhere.
yeah, and then so the Fae that was on the seated to the other side is sort of blasted up out of their chair and onto the table,
Sorry.
and they're looking startled, like whoa, 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 whoa.
Whoa.
So, I will cast, just to be nice, I will cast Mass Cure Wounds. Because I'm mad.
So, servants have appeared out of nowhere to bustle the bears away, and the Mantis Knight retakes his seat, and as everyone's kind of settling back down, Queen Salomonia is just looking at all of you and just saying, "I knew you would not disappoint."
Well, nonetheless.
So that was 15 points back to.
Ooh.
So at this point, you all realize that a young Eladrin woman who has a strange sort of visual phenomena happening behind her. Ket actually met her the last time. She appears to have what looks like a floating black diamond that's like hovering behind her head. You know, and it's big enough that like you can see it around behind her head. And she has approached this end of the table, and she notes all of you and does kind of a a gentle curtsy and just says, "A message from my lady." And at this point, she looks up, goes rigid, her eyes turn all black, and then just emerging from her form is the form of Queen Hieronymus, who is suddenly there in all her glory, which is of a different character, but the equal of Queen Solomonia. And she looks directly to Queen Solomonia and says, "You wished me to see, and I see." And then she just vanishes, and what remains is this Eladrin woman in now a marble statue. And Queen Solomonia just says, Queen Solomonia just sits back down with a sort of satisfied smile and says, "That went well."
Wow, yeah.
It went, that's for sure.
Congratulations.
The servants have come, and it takes 4 of them, but they have propped up this now marble statue and are carrying it away.
Didn't go so well for her, though, did it?
I wonder if I could have cast Greater Restoration and fixed it.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Huh? I mean, they are carrying her away now.
I want to stop them and see if I can fix it.
Queen Solomonia sees you kind of getting up to do it and just inquires, saying, "You intend to restore her?"
That was my intention.
"You have my leave to do so, but she will not thank you for it."
It seems harsh for her to pay that price.
Is it
Just-
a price or a reward? You do not know the ways of the Twilight Court.
I suppose that's fair. I will sit back down, but it leaves me uneasy.
So, the meal resumes, and here's a question for you. As you are there enjoying this, enjoying question mark, this feast, this gala, once again, as you've experienced a couple of times in the Feywild, you really start to get the sense of you have no idea how long you've been here. It feels like you could have arrived 15 minutes ago. It feels like you could have been here for weeks. You can't tell. It really feels like this party might just go on forever or be over whenever you want. And it's hard to tell how long it's been.
Archie's okay with that. He's drinking a lot of wine and having a lot of laughs.
How many wine is that for you now?
don't know. It'd be pretty constant. So
Yeah. Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw for me.
400 an hour.
Well, you don't know how long you've been here, though.
Constitution. Well, that's true. Right.
Yeah.
Ah,
26
Constitution.
drinks later.
10.
I think you're definitely feeling it, but it's still on the fun side. Yeah.
Ooh.
You hear carrying over a great distance, yoo-hoo, and you look over and just like towering above everyone else, you see one of the giant girls just like waving at you.
Was Archie gonna get that too? We are
Can't take him
adventurers.
anywhere.
So there's been, you again, like I said, there's this strange feeling like time is slipping. It's, there, if normally it's a conveyor belt, it's no longer affixed to the wheels. It's hard to process. You feel like there's been more conversation. You feel like there's been more food, more drink. But how much? What did you talk about? What else has happened? It's slippery. But at some point, the queen does look to all of you, and you do immediately, she has your attention regardless of whether you meant it to be on her. And she says, I do hope you've enjoyed yourself.
It's been most enlightening.
I mean,
It's been different, I
do.
suppose.
I do love a good battle party.
me and Archie rocked the house down, man. What more could I ask for?
It's true. I never knew he could sing like that. He doesn't speak very much either.
Discoveries. And entertainment. And celebration. These are all things that I value highly. You have not disappointed me. Yet.
Well, I'll drink to that.
What other preparations do you require?
Well, we'll definitely need to take a nap. At least Nira and I will need to take a little nap.
Oh, true. But that was fun.
We should probably go
Yeah.
back and check on Amethyst and
Yeah.
just
We need to discuss our strategy for this dragon.
yeah, man.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's
Is it your intent to seek the Thrae, honey?
I mean,
You know about that?
Only Nira and Alaric knew about that, so
I think she knows everything now, so.
So what do you know? What can you tell us?
I like honey.
would it be acceptable to you if we wanted to pursue that?
Of course. But it is a journey you must undertake on your own, outside of my protection.
Of course.
We've gotten this far without it. I'm sure we can manage.
Make sure you come back, or I will.
You will what?
That was
oh,
a
well,
threat,
come.
Alaric.
You meant no, we're not gonna run away, man. Of course we're gonna come back, dude.
Good then.
Yeah, man. You made the deal.
I mean, there's always death, but That's
Yeah,
never
well,
planned
there's
for.
that. You know.
Yeah. If we
Even
die,
that is negotiable.
Yeah,
Where-
if we die, we won't come back, But if we're alive.
But what do you know about the three honey then? Can you share anything?
The search is part of the price. I
So-
cannot help you, but
Maybe
I
we should
will
talk.
not stop you.
Maybe we should talk to the bees.
I did.
Maybe we should talk to the bees more in depth.
What about this grandmother Praxis? She an
For
enemy
the
of yours?
very first time you have ever seen, you've never seen Queen Solomonia react so negatively as she did when you said that. She just kind of jerks, and just for a moment there's just a flash of fury on her face, but then it's just the smile again and just says, please do not speak of her here. This is a party.
Oh.
All right.
There's some things that we
She's
need
not
to
in
fill our
attendance,
friends-
so.
There's a few things we need to fill our friends in on, I think.
Yeah, maybe. I'm sorry if I spooked you with a name. You just got done saying how much you value knowledge, so I was just trying to gain a little for myself.
I understand. It is a difficult thing for you. You do not know our ways here.
That's the truth.
But
I don't know if I ever will.
that is up to you. If you would return now, you are permitted to go. Or stay as long as you like. You are my guests.
Well, the supper was nice and all. And I like some of the music and dancing, maybe, but I think we've got work to do. I can't speak for them, though.
So, she claps, and all around, everything seems to kind of dim and go muffled, and you feel almost as though the area of the table where you're sitting now is kind of under like a big spotlight while everything else goes dark around it. And then she just stands and she just says, "Then I bid you farewell for now." And she turns into this mote of sunlight again, and you're all briefly dazzled. And when your eyes clear, you're back in that sort of homegrown little mansion thing, and the magnificent mansion door is right there.
oh, thank God.
I kind of
I'm
worried.
going
I kind of worried that it might have been gone by now.
Guess that's the end of the party. Wow.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. I thought I made it clear that I wasn't making decisions for everyone.
Yeah.
Well, nothing to do but move forward. And I'm going to walk in the magic mansion and proceed to get very drunk.
I go in the Magic Mansion and I'm like, I need some food, please.
All right.
Nightcap.
You all kind of head in, and you discover the place looks like it's been ransacked, and Amethyst isn't there.
Not again.
What?
Bum bum bum.
How can anybody get into my mansion?
It's
That's a good question.
impossible.
So, but we'll have to find out next time
Damn
as
it!
we
This
continue
episode,
our adventure on so many levels.
many levels.
So many levels.
So many.
The next episode better be titled "Fucking Feywild."
That could be taken the wrong way. We have to be careful about that.
Bye, everybody.
It's not fucking Buffet Wild.
All right, so I think we're going to go ahead and just bring it to a close for tonight, and we'll be back. But in the meantime, everybody, if you want to check out here on the Twitch channel, you can follow or subscribe. Over at the YouTube, you can subscribe. You can follow all of these lovely people at their Twitter handles on the screen. Help us spread the word. You can do iTunes reviews, all that good stuff. And if you enjoy the show, let us know. And in the meantime, we'll be back next week for more adventure on So Many
So many
levels.
levels.